Alright, so we're back in Espoo Ranta today, or however you pronounce it. And I'm taking a little bit of a walk today to try out my new Hero 8 to get them in place. And on this walk I wanted to talk about my experience running the Espoo Ranta Marathon without any training, which is not recommended. But mistakes were made, lessons were learned, and I'll share a bit of what happened and why I actually thought I could run it pretty well, and the mistakes that I made. Right, so first things first, let's talk about why I didn't train. So until about mid-July, I was training pretty well. I was working on my sprints mainly, which created a little bit of an issue. I hurt my Achilles tendon, and I didn't hurt it much, but I had hurt it enough that I recognized the feeling that I thought, okay, my Achilles tendon is out. So I rested. Then I went on vacation. I come back. The Achilles is starting to feel okayish, and now we're already, mid-August, late August, and the run was on like the 14th of September. So I decide to run a few test runs. I do one 13 kilometer at a very slow pace, and then the week before the race I do a 15 kilometer, and I feel awesome. Now this 15 kilometer might have been the culprit here, because I felt so good using 15 kilometers as my baseline. I thought, all right, if in the race I do the 15k and it feels good, I'll push to the 21k. If I push to 21k and I feel good, I'll keep on pushing. And I had trained for the ultra, that was end of May. I continued running after the ultra, so in my head I had a little bit of a baseline fitness there, and then I just needed my body to be able to hold and feel good. And then in my head I started thinking, well, if I'm so rested now, maybe, just maybe, I can even run better, seeing that I have the baseline, I'm rested, but let's see how it goes. And that's what happened. I'm at the starting line, goes off, and I ran the first 15 kilometers. It's when I felt great after the 15, but I learned my first lesson, which was my nutrition and hydration was not trained anymore. I had forgotten to take the salts when I was supposed to. Every time it would be a certain amount of time or kilometers, I was like, did I take the gel? Should I take a gel? Etc, etc. So that already started to show a first problem, but overall I was feeling amazing. So in this point in my head I'm thinking, all right, we actually might have a 4-hour marathon, sorry, not 2 hour, 4-hour marathon in our hands. And I was feeling great. Half marathon, I was feeling amazing. And I thought, all I have to do is hold this. But that didn't happen. So the first mistake was just going out hard and not knowing my nutrition. And the second lesson that I get from this experience is, in the ultras and all the other races I've done, when cramps come, they come slowly. So they just start to build up. I start feeling my hamstring, and I know, okay, I need to drink more water, or I need to slow down, or I'll do a little bit of stop and stretch a little bit just to get some movement in my hamstrings. But at this time it was like around 25 kilometers, and it's a literal like break, like ugh! So that was interesting to learn, that it's not always a calm walk to cramps. It could also be like these break cramps. And then came another problem, which is I was not able to recover after this. And my stomach gave problems also. I forgot about this one. I was pushing, so I guess my stomach wasn't used to the food anymore, the gels. So it just immediately I started feeling like on the bottom of my stomach a little bit of pain. I was like, okay, that's a really bad sign. But yeah, cramps. So at the 25 kilometer mark we have cramps, and let's just say that from there it was not gonna get any easier. Okay, from that point on it was just horrible. Around the 30 kilometer mark is when I started to feel that I couldn't run continuously. I would run, have cramps, stop, walk, try to run again, have cramps, try to walk, and that was it the whole way. Also, sometimes you think that, okay, with the finish line close, like 2 kilometers left, that you find this extra boost. no extra boost. I couldn't even, yeah, I had to slow down crossing the finish line because cramps started building up right away again. Anytime I tried to push, cramps would just start creeping up on me. And that was it. I did actually do a personal best for the half marathon and the full marathon, but what was the cost? So I did the full marathon a few months earlier. I also had a little injury on my foot, but it was fun. Like I really enjoyed myself while doing it. But on this one, I did a personal best, but it was 100 times harder, 100 times sore, and just not fun at all. So that's the question, is it worth going fast if it's not fun? Now in retrospect, I think the marathon was amazing. Like, I liked the course. It was pretty flat, had some nice areas, better than the Helsinki Marathon, which loops the same thing twice. This one, you loop, but you only loop one part of the section, so mentally it's a little bit better. And I would definitely run this one again. But yep, it's not worth running a marathon if you don't train for it. Well, because you can do it. I really do believe that most people could do it, but what is the cost of doing it? How fun will it be? How many other marathons will you run? But yeah, that is all for the 2024 Espoo Ranta Marathon. Next year, hoping to be there again.